2020 జేఈఈ మెయిన్ ఫలితాలలో ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ విద్యార్థుల ప్రభంజనం. ఆల్ ఇండియా అన్ని కేటగిరీస్లు 18, 35, 251, 253, 582, 606, 778, 780, 812, 821, 1031, 1039, 1303, 1575, 1654, 1753, 1754, 1978 ర్యాంకులే కాక మరెన్నో ఉత్తమ ఫలితాలు సాధించిన విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్. ఈ ఫలితాలు సాధించడానికి కారణమైన లెక్చరర్లు మరియు తల్లిదండ్రులకు మా కృతజ్ఞతలు. ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్.
So now we are discussing about circular motion topic. So in circular motion we discussed already what are the equations of motion in case of circular motion. So kinematical equations of motion are V equals U plus AT, S equals to UT plus half AT square, or V square minus U square equals to 2AS, like that. We already discussed about in case of circular motion omega 2 is equals to omega 1 plus alpha t, like that, and theta is equals to omega 1 t plus half alpha t square. We discussed all this. So let us do one example in this. Let us say one example problem is, if the speed of wheel increasing from 1200 rpm to 2400 rpm in 20 seconds. If the speed of the wheel increasing from 1200 rpm to 2400 rpm in 20 seconds. The question is, find the number of rotations made by the wheel in this time. Find the number of rotations made by the wheel in this time. That's we have to calculate. So first, initially it is 1200 rpm, 2400 rpm. So generally we know omega formula is 2 pi n by t, n1 by t1. Omega 2 is equals to 2 pi n2 by t2, where n is the frequency and t is the time. Here first of all 1200 rpm, rpm in the sense rotations per minute. rpm means rotations per minute. So that is omega 1 is equals to 2 pi into n1 1200 by minute, per minute means seconds, 60, 2 pi into 1200 by 60. So this omega value is 2 pi n1 by t1, 2 pi into n1 is 1200, t1 is 60, so 2 pi into 1200 by 60. So that is 2 pi into 60 20s, 20. So that is 40 pi. In the same way omega 2 can be written as 2 pi into 2400 divided by 60, 60 40s. So this is 80 pi. This is the omega 1 value, 1200 rpm rotations per minute, 2400 rpm rotations per minute. So rotations per second we have to calculate. So 1200 by 60, that is 20 rotations per second, 40 rotations per second. So angular velocity formula 2 pi n1 by t1 or 2 pi n2 by t2. And we know here, we know what is the value of alpha can be written as omega 2 minus omega 1 by t, angular acceleration. Alpha is omega 2. What is the value of omega 2? 80 pi minus 40 pi divided by time is 20 seconds. In the time interval of 20 seconds, the speed of the wheel increases from 1200 rpm to 2400 rpm. So therefore alpha is equals to 80 minus 40, 40 pi by 20. So that is 2 pi. That is angular acceleration. Alpha is the angular acceleration. Then what we have to calculate? The number of rotations made by the wheel. From second equation of motion, theta is equals to omega 1 t plus half alpha t square. Theta is equals to omega 1 t plus half alpha t square. So, theta is equals to omega 1 40 pi into t is 20 plus half alpha is 2 pi into 20 square. 40 into 20, how much? 800 pi plus pi into 400. So, that is 1200 pi. Theta. Total angle covered by the wheel is how much? 1200 pi. Total angle covered by the wheel of the vehicle is 1200 pi. So, for one rotation theta is 2 pi. For n rotations theta is equals to 2 pi n. So, therefore, 2 pi n is equals to 1200 pi. Pi gets cancelled, n is equals to 600. So, the number of rotations made by the wheel is equals to how much? 600 in the time interval of 20 seconds. In the time interval of 20 seconds, the number of rotations is equals to 600. So, this is the way to do the problem here. A, if the speed of the wheel increases from 1200 rpm to 2400 rpm in 20 seconds, how many number of rotations made by the wheel in this time? So, 600. First, what we are doing? We are calculating omega 1, omega 2. Based on that, we are calculating the value of alpha, omega 2 minus omega 1 by t. Next here, so alpha value according to second equation of motion. What is that second equation of motion? S equals to ut plus half ad square. But in circular motion, this can be written as theta is equals to omega 1 t plus half alpha t square. So, based on that, so the number of rotations can be written as n is equals to 600. N is equals to 600. So, this is the way to do the problem. Next. So, next, what is meant by the force? How can you define force? So, generally in Newton's laws of motion we can discuss about this force, but here in the circular path we have the concept of centripetal force. So, that is why I am discussing about force. What is meant by force? Force means the physical quantity which changes or at least tries to change the position of the body or tries to change the state of the body, that is called force. The physical quantity that changes or tries to change the state of the body or position of the body, that is called force. Generally force formula is Ma. Generally force formula can be written as Ma. Force formula is Ma. So, here we can discuss about, we know the centripetal acceleration formula. What is the centripetal acceleration formula? Omega square r, or centripetal acceleration v square by r, or centripetal acceleration can be written as v omega, anything it is. So, centripetal acceleration formulas: omega square r in terms of angular velocity, v square by r in terms of linear velocity. In terms of linear velocity and angular velocity, A is equals to v omega. So, this is the centripetal acceleration formulas. Now, we can discuss about centripetal force. What is meant by the centripetal force? So, for example, if the body is performing circular path, certain amount of acceleration must exist. So here, if the body is performing circular path, what is the direction of acceleration? Centripetal acceleration always acting towards the center. When a body is performing circular path, the direction of the centripetal acceleration is always acting towards the center. Centripetal acceleration. So that means there exists certain amount of acceleration. So how can you define centripetal force? Means the minimum force required to perform the body in circular path. The minimum force required for any body to perform circular path, that is called centripetal force. So that means centripetal force formula, F is equals to ma. M into acceleration is nothing but centripetal acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but centripetal acceleration. Then F is equals to mac in the sense v square by r, or F can be written as m into r omega square r, whatever it is, or F is equals to m into v omega. All these are the formulas of the centripetal acceleration, v square by r, or r omega square, or v omega, and these are the formulas for the centripetal force. F is equals to mv square by r, F equals to mr omega square, F equals to mv omega, that based on centripetal acceleration. So the minimum force, centripetal force, how can you define that? The minimum force required for any body to perform circular path. That is called centripetal force. So this is F equals to mv square by r, or mr omega square. So this is centripetal force. Now, how many forces acts on the body? When the body performing circular path? How many types of forces? Let us discuss about that. So here we have two types of circular paths. One is uniform circular motion, another one is non-uniform circular motion. First one is uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion means the motion of the body must be constant, uniform. The speed of the body, the velocity of the body, speed of the body does not changes with respect to time. So uniform circular motion means if a body moving in a circular path, with constant speed. Don't say that constant velocity. Any body performing circular path with constant speed, that is only called as uniform circular motion. Don't call it as uniform velocity, because if the body performing circular path at any point, what is the direction of motion at any point indicates what? The tangent drawn at that point indicates, what? Direction of motion of the body. That means the direction of the particle continuously changes. Direction changes continuously. So that means what is meant by velocity? Velocity must have it both having magnitude and direction. Velocity is a vector quantity, it must have both magnitude and direction. If any one quantity changes, velocity must be changes. So that's why here if the body performing circular path, direction of the body continuously changes. Due to the change in the direction, velocity of the body also changes. So that's why any body performing circular path does not having constant velocity. It must have constant speed only. It doesn't have constant velocity. So very, very important point it is. Because velocity is a vector quantity, it must have both magnitude and direction. If the body performing circular path, continuously the direction of motion of the body changes. Due to the change in the direction, what happens? Due to change in the direction, the velocity of the body must be changes, because velocity is vector, it's having both magnitude and direction. If the magnitude changes, velocity changes. If the direction changes, velocity changes. Here the direction changes, that's why velocity also must be changes. So that is the uniform. So that means any body must have moving in a circular path with constant speed, not constant velocity. In case of circular path, velocity never be constant, velocity continuously changes. So this is the condition here. So if a body moving in a circular path with constant speed means magnitude remains constant, direction does not remains constant, magnitude only remains constant, constant speed, then that motion is said to be uniform circular path. Uniform circular path. So in case of uniform circular path, so the direction of acceleration, only one acceleration acting, so that is centripetal. Why this centripetal acceleration acting? Of course, body moving with constant velocity, acceleration is 0, but here I am mentioning only constant speed. Here we are mentioning only constant speed. Velocity must be changes. Due to the change in velocity, certain amount of acceleration produced. That acceleration is called centripetal acceleration. That acceleration is called centripetal acceleration. So this is the situation. Now, so in case of uniform circular path, in uniform circular path, the acceleration, so that means acceleration created by the body, so acceleration generates due to change in velocity, So how the velocity changes? See here, at this position this is the direction, at this position this is the direction, like this. So that means the direction of motion of the body continuously changes. Direction of motion of the body continuously changes. That's why velocity also changes. So change in velocity. So only centripetal acceleration exists. So the force acts on the body is also only centripetal force. So that means only centripetal acceleration, that's acceleration is called v square by r, or r omega square, or v omega, anything we can write. And force acts on the body is also only centripetal force. That centripetal force can be written as mv square by r, or F is equals to m r omega square, or F is equals to mv omega. mv square by r, or Fc equals to mr omega square, or Fc is equals to mv omega, like this. So that is the only centripetal acceleration, only one acceleration exists. That motion is called uniform circular motion. Only speed of the body remains constant. So that means only one acceleration exists. That acceleration is called, what is that acceleration? Centripetal acceleration. And only one force, that is a centripetal force, exists. Next, non-uniform circular motion. Next condition, non-uniform circular motion. non-uniform circular motion. Non-uniform circular motion means the body moving in the circular path, the body moving in a circular path with variable speed, the body moving in the circular path with variable speed, that is called non-uniform circular path. Variable speed, so that means here, so velocity it must have, so this is having such magnitude and it's having direction. Velocity means it's a vector quantity, it must have both magnitude and direction. So if here the body moving in a circular path with variable speed means magnitude also changes and direction also changes. Variable speed in the sense magnitude of the velocity changes and direction of the velocity also changes. In case of circular path, the direction continuously changes. So both are changes here. So that's why here two accelerations exist. Two accelerations exist. What are those two accelerations? Let us discuss about that. So due to the change in the magnitude, the acceleration exists. That is tangential acceleration. Next, due to change in direction, the acceleration exists. That is centripetal acceleration. So we know about this. So in case of uniform circular path, we have one acceleration. That one acceleration is called centripetal acceleration. Why that centripetal acceleration creates? Due to change in the direction of the motion of the body. But due to change in the magnitude, one more acceleration exists. Due to change in magnitude, one more acceleration exists. That acceleration is called tangential acceleration. Tangential acceleration. See here, body performing circular path, so this is the center. Let us say here this is the centripetal acceleration direction towards the center, and this is the direction of the tangential acceleration. The direction of tangential acceleration is always always tangential to the circular path at that position. See here, at this position, what is the direction of tangential acceleration? Tangent drawn at that point. So let us say at this position, this is the direction of centripetal acceleration and this is the direction of tangential acceleration. At any point, at any situation, the centripetal acceleration and the tangential acceleration are normal to each other. At any situation, centripetal acceleration and tangential acceleration are perpendicular to each other. How this tangential acceleration generated? Due to the change in the magnitude of the velocity. Due to the change in the magnitude of the velocity, the acceleration exists, that is called tangential acceleration, and due to the change in the direction, one more acceleration exists, that acceleration is called what is that? Centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration. So this is the situation. At any situation, centripetal acceleration and tangential acceleration are perpendicular to each other. So if two vectors are normal to each other, what is the resultant? So net acceleration. Acceleration is a vector quantity. So that means if two vectors are inclined at an angle 90 degrees with each other. So here, so that means AC and AT. AC is the centripetal acceleration, AT is the tangential acceleration, are perpendicular to each other. AC and AT are perpendicular to each other. So that means A net can be written as, net acceleration can be written as generally according to the parallelogram law, AC square plus AT square plus 2AC AT cos 90, because cos theta is 90, this total term becomes 0. Therefore, net acceleration can be written as square root of AC square plus AT square. Net acceleration can be written as square root of AC square plus AT square. This is the net acceleration exists in case of non-uniform circular path. In case of uniform circular path, only one acceleration exists, that is centripetal acceleration. But in case of non-uniform circular path, two acceleration exist. What are the two accelerations? So this is, one is tangential, one is centripetal. So net acceleration is square root of AC square plus AT square. So what is the angle made here in this situation? Direction of the net acceleration. Direction of the net acceleration. See here. Again, this is the circular path. This is the center and this is the centripetal for acceleration and this is the tangential acceleration. Let us say this is the net acceleration. That is the net acceleration. What is the angle made by the net acceleration with the horizontal? Let us say it is alpha. Tan alpha is equals to how much? Opposite side by adjacent side. What is opposite side? AT divided by AC. So alpha is equals to tan inverse AT by AC. Tan inverse AT by AC. So this is the direction of net acceleration with horizontal. Direction of the net acceleration. Alpha is equals to tan inverse AT by AC. So this is non-uniform survey. So that is the difference between uniform and non-uniform. In case of uniform circular path, only one acceleration exists, that is centripetal. But in case of non-uniform circular motion, two accelerations exist. Those two are centripetal and tangential acceleration. Centripetal and tangential accelerations. So like this. So here, what is the value of tangential? We know that AC is equals to V square by R. We can write R omega square or V square V omega, anything we can write. We know the values of centripetal acceleration. Then what is the value of tangential acceleration? Tangential acceleration exists due to rate of change of velocity. Tangential acceleration exists due to rate of change of velocity. So tangential acceleration can be written as, simply we can write dV by dt, or we can write it as R alpha. AT is equals to dy by dt, or we can write it as R alpha. What is R? Radius. dV by the rate of change of velocity, because its magnitude continuously changes. Its magnitude continuously changes. So that's why it is dV by dt. That's why AT can be written as R alpha. This is the formula of the tangential acceleration, or dV by dt. But centripetal acceleration formula is V square by R. There is no change in that. So based on this, A net can be written, net acceleration can be written as square root of V square by R whole square plus R alpha whole square. V square by R whole square plus R alpha whole square. So that is the net acceleration in this situation. This in case of non-uniform circular motion. So next, So next, for example, one example problem. If a body moving in a circular path with velocity 20 meters per second, whose radius is 10 meters, whose radius is 10 meters, and its velocity changes at the rate of 30 radian per second. 3 radian per second. Find the net acceleration. So that is the question. Body moving in the circular path with a velocity 20 meters per second, whose radius of the circular path is 10 meters, and its velocity changes at the rate of 3 radian per second square. 3 radian per second square. So tangential acceleration mentioned. Then acceleration is. So what is the net acceleration formula? Generally square root of AC square plus AT square. Blindly we can do this. In case of circular path, net acceleration means directly we can write AC square plus AT square. But what is the value of AC? We can write V square by R, because velocity is given. What is the velocity? 20 meters per second. 20 whole square divided by 10. So 400 divided by 10. So that is equals to 40 meter per second square. 40 meters per second square. That is the centripetal acceleration. But here 3 radians per second. Alpha is given as 3 radian per second square. Angular acceleration is given as alpha is equals to 3 radian per second square. So from this, tangential acceleration can be written as R alpha. We know that tangential acceleration is R alpha. What is the value of R here? 10. Alpha is 3. That is 30 meter per second square. So therefore, net acceleration can be written as square root of AC square plus AT square. AC is 40 whole square plus 30 whole square. 1600 plus 900. Square root of 2500. So that is equals to 50. Net acceleration is given as 50 meter per second square. So this is the way to do the problem. Net acceleration. Body moving in a circular path with velocity 20 meters per second. That velocity is mentioned, whose radius is 10, radius of the circular path. And its velocity changes at the rate of 3 radian per second square. Accelerate, that means the body accelerates at the rate of 3 radian per second square. Angular acceleration is given. So based on this, how can you calculate net acceleration? Like this. First we have to calculate centripetal acceleration, next to tangential acceleration, net acceleration. So that is the way to do the problem.
ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.